So we forgot to list who it is that we're answering the questions of today. So just to let you know, Squashboy, your boy, GuYdudeH, Mr. Nova Simp, Simp for Harley, Mr. Alone Forever, and Ms. Stuck in Cycle are the people whose questions we'll be answering it today. If that's not you and you're waiting to hear the response to your question, check the other episodes and you might be in there. Hey kids, welcome back to The Love Witches. It's a podcast where me, Red Witchery, and Novalisi, or Novalisi and I, Red Witchery, or I went to university for this. Anyway, we discuss dating and relationships, especially when it comes to Twitch-related stuff or streaming or online social media, finagling. And you can write in, we'll give you advice, and that's what that segment today is for. Or we have sort of discussions between ourselves on themed episodes. And basically, we've had a couple of you write in on a Google form a couple of days ago asking for some advice, telling us your stories, and we're about to just get our fingers right in there like it's some ASMR slime and give you the best advice that we can. You excited?
Let's get into it.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. All right. Yeah, let's do it. I'm so excited. I love gossip. I love talking about things.
This is gonna be the longest episode in the world.
Give me the tea. Give me the tea. I want to hear about it. I want to discuss it.
We tried to get to everything that we could. If we've left anything out, we'll try and cover it in our next episode. Or we are purposely leaving it out, especially if it's themed around something like sex work or hidden relationships for a themed episode. If it doesn't seem super urgent, we've probably left it for a themed episode. And if it's to do with interpersonal relationships that are platonic and not romantic, we're just going to skip over that because this is just for sort of dating and that kind of thing. So let me get my tea. 1 second. And let's begin. So we have Mr. Nova Simp, who's written in... First of all, a relatable gentleman from the start.
I love my Simps. Can I just say shout out to all my Simps out there? I love you.
Shout out to the Simps. Hey, welcome in everybody. If you're a Simp and you're listening tonight, just know we're right there with you. Here we have easy listening with Nova and Harley. So Mr. Nova Simp has written in saying, is there a way to get Nova to step on me? And if not, I'll settle for a way to date Nova. Nova, thoughts?
I have not gotten into the whole stepping on thing. I don't think I've ever stepped on someone except to like crack their back. Maybe they were hiding.
I'm sorry. You've cracked someone's back by stepping on them?
Have you not?
No, you're full Lucy Lewing and Charlie's Angeling these motherfuckers. What do you mean? You crack someone's back by like hugging them
also,
tightly.
Thank you. That's the first time I've been like described as like a Charlie's Angel, and that's like thank you. No, yeah. They like lie flat on the floor, and then my roommate makes me do it, and it's like so scary because she's like 90 pounds, and I'm like, girl, I'm gonna crush you. Like I'm scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, you lie flat on the back or flat on your stomach, and then someone like walks on your back, and it like cracks your back.
I cannot wait to be at TwitchCon and be like, Nova, oh my back kind of hurts.
Step on
you
me.
Help? All right, there you go, Mr. Nova Simp. All you have to do is have a bit of a poor posture and Nova will be all over you.
I'm there. You need me to crack your back, baby? Lie on the floor. I'll step right all over it. Otherwise, for dating me, honey, that's a whole can of worms. Unless you are a fictional character, I don't know if you'll be able to live up to the standards that I have for my.
What sort of fictional characters are we talking about here, Nova? What are the standards?
Ooh, okay.
I'm the expert of being into fictional characters, so I'm...
Let's go. Rob Stark.
Oh my god, right. He's so
right. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
First one right away. Tom Hardy. I know he's real, but like I feel like he's fictional.
I've got some really good news for you there. You're gonna love this one.
Oh, Hal from Howl's Moving Castle.
I was looking at pictures of him earlier, and I was like, damn, I could cosplay him really easily because I got the whole. All right, anyway, moving on quickly. The next one.
Oh gosh, what would be another one? Aquaman. But not Jason Momoa Aquaman.
Oh, good. Oh,
not Jason Momoa.
Okay.
Okay.
It's the
comic
one.
Comic book.
I like that.
Aquaman
That's cool.
is hot, and I could be Mara. You know.
Yeah, perfect.
So
and you're not a horrible abuser, so it's even better. That's great.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. No, we love that. Hey, DC, if you're listening to this right now, I got good news for you. You can replace Amber with Novalisi. I am clearly just as hot. And
I would say more, personally.
Thank you. And also a totally professional actress. I'm ready to go, baby.
I think, Nova, I'm sorry, I'm going to need a picture of you in the green bodysuit before we continue with that application.
I have been wanting to cosplay as her for so long, actually.
Did you know if we get enough listeners, Nova will be financially able to cosplay as Mara?
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Therefore.
Let's go. I'll be, yeah. But anyways, yeah, fictional characters only for me. I think, hopefully one day I'll lower my standards and date someone, you know, but we'll see if that ever happens.
Sorry about that, kids. Slight technical issue. All right. So next one, Nova, do you want to read that out? The next one?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is your boy.
Your boy. Okay, so your boy wrote in and says, I'm in a really happy relationship with a woman I love, and occasionally I think a woman is flirting with me. Should I do the casual, oh, I'm meeting up with my partner later? I've noticed women do effectively, okay, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Can I reread this? Podcast and she can't even read. This is the saddest tale ever told. It's charades. Okay, so
hey, my name's Novalisi. I'm 23 years old. I never learned how to fucking read. Okay.
You need submissions and smoke signals from now on, everybody.
I'm sorry. He formatted this weirdly. Okay,
don't blame
I just have to say.
It's not your fault,
I'm just
your boy.
saying, it's your fault, you boy. It's your fault. Okay.
All right, let's try it again.
Your boy says, I'm in a really happy relationship with a woman I love. And occasionally I think women are flirting with me. Should I do the casual, oh, I'm meeting up with my partner fuck. Oh, I'm meeting up with my...
She can't read, Pepe hands. She can't fucking read. Would you like me to finish this one for you? Have you jinxed it?
I can do it. Okay. Man, some of these are way longer than this too. I'm gonna be struggling.
We're gonna have it scrolling over like Lucasfilms in Star Wars, just
like a teleprompter.
Yeah, like a crawl.
Okay. Okay. Should I do the casual? Oh, I'm meeting up with my partner, lady. Oh fuck! I did it again.
Oh my god.
Not even meaning to do it.
Do you want me to do it for you? Would you like me to?
I could do this.
Okay,
I could do this. Oh god, I'm gonna start crying.
We haven't even gotten to the sad stories yet. Calm down.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna pee. I'm laughing so hard. Okay. Meeting up with my partner later. I've noticed women do that to effectively shrug off guys in order to avoid embarrassing the person that they're talking to. Or is there a better way to do that? First of all, I would like to say...
Congratulations.
Finally. Finally. Also, wow, man. I
like this guy. I like your boy. He's nice.
I can tell that he's hot, you know. He's clearly extremely
he's
attractive.
A good person, but, you know.
How do I shrug off Nova from flirting with me when I'm asking her how to stop women from flirting with me?
I do like when women flirt with me. Oh, they must be flirting with you because you're so hot. It's like, stop. Oh god.
It must be nice, man. Must be fucking nice.
Your boy. First of all, congratulations on your nice relationship. Don't let this one ruin it for
also,
you, okay?
Oh my god, must be so nice to have a fucking relationship, first of all. And then two, people just walk up and flirt with you. I've never been hit on in a bar or anywhere. I never get hit.
I think he's saying a woman, like there's a particular person who's flirting with him. Like, I think there's a particular woman who is flirting with him sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not as hot.
Yeah, you're not as hot as we thought you were, actually, boy. Sorry. We only answer questions for 8 out of 10s and above, so it's going to be more than that one. I would say that's good. Yeah, it's perfect. Or you can also be like, oh, if she's talking about something, you can be like, oh, wait, my girlfriend mentioned that. Or be like, oh, yeah, I just got back. Me and my girlfriend ordered takeout or whatever. Like, just say... Just insert
casually
your girlfriend very casually. Yeah, because you're not putting a spotlight on the woman's intent and embarrassing her in any way. And if you're wrong and she's not flirting with you, she's not gonna be like if I wasn't flirting with somebody and they came up to me and they're like, hey, I've got a girlfriend, you need to stop flirting with me, I'd be a bit weirded out. I'd be like, I'm not flirting with you. So
I'd be like, this fucking guy.
The audacity. This guy isn't your boy. He's nothing like him. He's not of the sort.
Excuse me.
No, sir.
I'm just being nice. That is the thing though, because it's like, I feel like I'm like a generally flirty person. If you haven't noticed,
you just flirted with a listener like 5 times.
I've been hitting on you like the whole podcast. Yeah. I'm somewhat of a flirty person. I can tone it down, you know, sometimes, but generally I'm a pretty flirty person. I just can't, you know. So you know, but I'm never actually intending to like steal someone away from their relationship, you know, and so I might just be joking around.
It's also hard because there's a lot of way of talking with people where like you'll call your friends like baby, or be like, hey cutie, and that kind of thing, and you're just talking in like a friend way. So,
I call my friends babe all the time. But also it's like if she's making you feel uncomfortable, like that's not okay. And something that I do when someone especially when people like tell like jokes that I don't like, or like say something, you know, that I don't like when people are flirting with me and I don't like, I just like I kind of like deadpan it. And so it's like if someone's like oh haha, you would totally know about that because you're so hot, like if someone said that to me and I was like uncomfortable by it, I'd just be like, oh,
not really, moving on. Like that kind of thing.
Exactly. You just kind of like shut it down.
No, it makes
just
sense.
Like you don't really like you don't feed into it. I think that's a big thing. It's just like don't feed into it.
Absolutely. Which it doesn't sound like he's doing. He sounds like a good egg. He's kind of mindful of it, so that's good.
But even just like laughing at a joke like awkwardly and stuff can
people can read into
it. People can read into it. So I try not to like read into it in any, or you know, feed into it in any way. And then also, like you said, just like doing the same.
It's super
I'm meeting
casual.
up with my girlfriend later.
Setting. Yeah, it's more casual than you think it is. Like you might think you're being really blatantly like, you're my girlfriend, but like it's probably, she's gonna read it super casually being said. So, my glasses are so, there's like an opacity difference between when my glasses are on because I can't find my glasses wipes. If you're listening to this on a listening audio thing, just pretend that I have the cleanest glasses you've ever not seen.
I think they look great.
Oh, thank you.
I think you look great.
All right, so next we have a big old chug from my water bottle. All right, next up we have Squashboy, and it's gonna have like a brief mention of abuse here, no descriptions or anything like that. I just got out of an abusive and highly manipulative relationship, my very first relationship too. But I'm still partially in love with this girl and can't fully separate myself from her. I have so many conflicting emotions and I need some way to just let go of it. I know she's bad for me, but I still miss her company. But at the same time, I'm angry for all the pain she caused me. How do you suggest moving on from this? Because it's really fucking me up. I love you, Squashboy.
Do you have any?
First of all.
Yeah, this is real.
Yeah,
I think we've all been there.
Yeah, and it's so horrible that it's like it's your first relationship as well, and this is like your first experience. I think it's a really critical time as well, because there is it's not the cycle of abuse, but it's the when you've been abused, as I know well, like you tend to then get into an abusive relationship again because you don't quite learn to not let people treat you that way. Does that make sense? It's not your fault or anything, but it is how abuse works. It is like quite cyclical in that way. So it's really critical.
Especially when it's your first experience with love and relationships, you think that this is normal.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really good that you're like aware that she was not like that. Especially as a man, it can be quite difficult. Because I think that the abuse of men by women can be like quite underplayed because like toxic masculinity and all that. So yeah, I mean, do you have any takes on this?
It's hard, but like so how I handle breakups and separations is I completely cut off. I am not the person that like is friends with my ex right after or like is still seeing them or anything. Like I'm friends with exes from like years ago where
it's like amicable. You know,
it's been like long enough time that we're fine now, but like immediately after a breakup, I completely cut them off and I don't talk to them. I don't follow them on social media. I don't look at their pages or anything like that. So I can get that separation and I can heal, and I'm not tempted to like keep going back to them, because like I've definitely been in that cycle too where I just like I'm like but I miss them, you know, they were my friend, you know. And that's the hard part with abusive relationships too, is that like they're not all like, they're not 100% of the time evil, right?
Yeah. That's how they get you.
Remembering the good parts. Yeah, you remember the good parts and the parts where it's like, oh, I miss, you know, us hanging out on the couch and laughing and you know,
and sometimes the good parts aren't even sometimes the good parts aren't even that good. Like, you'll perceive them as good, but especially with abusive relationships,
in comparison,
they'll just be treating you as like a decent human being, but because what you're used to is such awfulness from them, the decency seems incredible, when really it's not, and there's a lot more out there for you. I mean, I'm better now, but I was never like Nova. I was very like, I would always feel bad and try and, because they would use me as like an emotional anchor, and be like, well, I can't leave them, I'll still be their friend, and it's never good. So I also recommend going as cold turkey as you can. Like, don't look at her socials or anything like that. Like, unfollow her where you can. And also, if you find yourself thinking of her in like a fond way and like missing her and that kind of thing, it's good to push those thoughts away, but also replace them with another thought, because if you're just kind of batting the thoughts away constantly, that's not quite as good as if you replace it with another more positive thought, if that makes any sense at all. So if you're like, oh, if you're like, oh, there's this theme park we used to go to, and like, oh, I miss like going there with her, like bat that thought away and then replace it with like the idea of like another experience you're looking forward to, which could be better than that. I'd also say that the reasons why closure can be so hard is because you kind of you're never really gonna get the closure that you want, right? They're very rarely going to acknowledge the pain they've caused you. I don't know if this girl does do that. It sounds like she's highly manipulative, so I doubt that she really does. And you also get sort of a sunk cost fallacy thing, where you're like, well, I had so much time with them, I don't want that to have all been for waste. And like, obviously you're angry for all the pain, and there's no quite way to like resolve that. So when it comes to the pain and the coping and that kind of thing, it's really good if you have an outlet in the form of like art in any way. It can be like making a playlist that's like themed around it. It could be writing something, drawing something, just creating something. If the focus is on your own emotions and how you're feeling, if that makes sense. So if you're making a playlist about coping with it, make it about how you feel. Don't make it about like her. Don't have songs that remind you of her. Have songs that describe how you're feeling, so that you acknowledge your pain and you can work through your pain. If that makes sense.
I'd also like to mention journaling.
Journaling's also very good. Yeah.
But I have like diaries going back to like beginning of high school.
I wish I had like diaries. Oh my God.
I have very like, and sometimes I'll go like months without writing into it, and then I'll like, catch up, but it's really nice because especially when I went through like a really manipulative relationship, it's fun to like see, because I was writing in it a lot. It's different. Yeah, it's a good time. It's interesting. It's interesting to see, because I can see now, looking back at all that, I can see all those red flags. And when I go through moments where I'm like immediately after ending a relationship, it can be really fresh and your vision can be really clouded. And you can have graduation goggles, and so like looking back at like writing, oh, these are the reasons why we broke up. Like, remember those bad parts, the good parts, you don't have to like completely ignore them or anything. It's okay to like have good memories, but just remember that there's a reason why you broke up and there's a reason you ended things. And
you will also like probably forget a lot of the bad parts here and there, because it'll just slip your mind. You won't realize.
I have the worst memory.
So sometimes it's like it's worse than you even remember. So yeah, and I'm obviously, it sucks so much. There's like all these like this anger that you feel, and you'll never like quite get closure on it and that kind of thing. But it's really good that you want to move on and that kind of thing. That's the most important thing, really.
Yeah, closure is kind of a lie.
Yeah, you get closure from yourself. It has to come from you. Like, you're seeking something that they're never going to be able to give you.
Like, I have had one ex who like gaslighted me a lot, and came back and apologized for all that gaslighting, and like actually did give me that closure. And I think that was like a kind of like a that was like the exception to the rule. I think most of the time you're never gonna get that, and you have to like remind yourself that like gaslighting is a whole other topic, but like you have to remind yourself, you have to be there for yourself, and you have to give yourself that closure, and remind yourself that you are worth it, and you can what they did to you is not because of anything that you did.
And I would highly recommend looking up resources and that kind of thing for spotting red flags and that, like I said, it's a really critical time for you.
And it's also good to not overvalue her and how nice she might have been, or how like lucky you might have considered yourself when you were dating her and that kind of thing. There are like a gajillion girls out there who will not abuse you and who will love you the way that you deserve to be loved. But yeah, it's just absolute rubbish this has happened, unfortunately.
One last thing on this, and then we can move on to the next one.
Okay.
One last thing.
We love you, Squashboy community. Squash your cheeks, community.
We just love you. We're here for you.
We're here for you.
So, my other thing, especially coming out of a relationship, I think when you're in a relationship, you can. I don't know if you've had this experience, but I personally go through periods where I neglect my friendships, like outside of the relationship, and I get completely involved in that relationship.
And they can contribute to that as well. They can like be making that happen.
So this is a really perfect time for you to reconnect with your friends, especially when you're feeling lonely and you're missing them. Like, go reconnect with your friends and make some new memories with your friends. And build your social circle, and that will make you feel a lot more secure as well.
Yeah, and it'll show you like how you deserve to be treated when you have good friends who remind you, when you're like, oh, this is how I should be treated. So a good friend, like the really wonderful aspects of friendship are also what will happen in a relationship. So yeah, I hope that helped a little bit. I know everything's super personal, obviously, and we don't know you super well and can't help as best we can, but yeah, I believe that you definitely can move on. It might seem like you can't, but you 100% can. Speaking from like lots of experience, like you do get there eventually, and you're going to do great, and it's gonna be good. Don't worry. Things will not just be better, they'll be good. Hells yeah. Anyway, this one's a long one. Do you want to read all of this, or do you want to? You can summarize it a little bit, or I can summarize it a bit if you want. I've read this one full myself, so I know this one.
I think we should read it in full.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
You sure you can handle that?
I'll try. Don't.
I wish we were streaming it, so we were like, give her your power in chat, guys. Give me a high five if you think Nova can read.
That would give me so much anxiety. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Just too much pressure. Okay. So about 2 years ago, this is from GuYdudeH.
GuYdudeH, not to be confused with GuYdude.
Sorry, GuYdudeH. So about 2 years ago, I started talking to an ex from school. She went to uni decently far away, but I just visited like 2 months after we were talking every day and hooked up, no sex, but other things. Anyways, she then said we shouldn't sleep together because she likes being my friend and doesn't want to ruin that. Anyway, throughout the next 2 years, she's like on and off, not giving me signs of interest, or giving me signs of interest and then not. And I've never pursued them in any kind of way due to fear of losing a friendship that I really, really cherish. And also just regular old fear of rejection.
Old chestnut.
The signs generally increase massively when the rest of her relationships are falling apart with like friends and stuff, and then when she's drunk.
I need to get like a red flag just to like have to like, this is a Christmas card, so it's not quite gonna do, but I need to get like a little red flag prop and just start waving it.
This is a red flag. The complicated thing is that she is definitely more into women than she is into men. She doesn't like any labels like bisexual or lesbian, but definitely pursues women and men not at all. So there's doubt there, as well as to whether she'd fully enjoy time with me when she's not actually slept with a woman. But when we hooked up, she said gets more into dudes the drunker she gets, and she's not into 95% of the guys, and I'm like the 5%. Okay.
There's more.
There is more. Now, recently, with coronavirus and all of the isolation shit, that she's like seemingly into me again, but I just don't know how to approach it. And what if she does just see me as a really good friend? How do you tell the difference? We've both dated people within the 2 years, but neither of us have had much luck. I wouldn't say it's love, but it also isn't a light crush with it spanning 2 years, and I don't want to fuck up. So a couple of days ago, we FaceTimed, but she couldn't drink because she's on some medication. But she said we should FaceTime again when she can. So my plan was to sort of explain my feelings and like how they've been on and off as well. And it's never felt like the right time because I'm less into it and she is. But just wanted your opinion on how to handle it all.
I don't like this girl. I don't like her, and it's never going to be the right time, my dude.
look, okay, dude, she's clearly using you as an emotional crutch.
Yeah.
She's clearly, like, you said it yourself, she's only coming on to you when the rest of her relationships are falling apart and when she's drunk. Like, she's
and you
only
might read
doing
this as like, oh, I'm her rock and I'm a consistent thing, but this is very much like you are I feel so bad saying this, but this is very much like you are an option and you are like a last resort kind of thing. And I think if this scenario that you're like carrying on with the like whole on and off and like occasionally hooking up thing, if that isn't exactly what you want, it doesn't sound like it sounds like you want a little bit more ish, because you're like, I want to fuck this up.
It's more than a crush, but not quite love,
you're not gonna get what you want from her, because 100% she's just like full of red flags. And the whole like her being on and off in interest to you, unless there's other reasons for her being on and off in her attentions with you, I would read that on and offness as just like a lack of interest and a lack of commitment. It's like a genuine lack of interest.
She's just lonely.
Yeah,
she's lonely and she's bored, and that's why she's hitting you up.
Corona's making everyone reach out and stuff, because there's less consequences. Like, first of all, there's less consequences, and we all feel a bit more like on edge and more dire about things.
And bored and lonely. And lonely.
Yeah.
So everyone's doing things that they shouldn't do right now.
Yeah, and it's sad because it must be nice, obviously, being like the exception and being like the 5%. You're like, well, usually she doesn't like guys, but she likes me, and I'm sure like you are like a very attractive guy to her and that kind of thing. I'm sure she does. Like, obviously, like you a lot as a friend. I'm sure if you've been friends for like 2 years, but I don't like the way she's treating you, my dude, and I don't think...
It also could be like something that you could relate with, Harley, a little bit. Of course,
all right.
you never do something like this. No. Hold on, let me explain.
Yeah, I do get used. What of it?
No. With her, because she specifically says that she's not into like 95%. So she's probably like only like, on the one of the like attracted to men scale.
Yeah, whereas I'm like the one that,
attracted to women scale. And so like it's possible that she could be like sexually attracted to men occasionally, but not actually see herself being in a long-term relationship with a man.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like that would like fulfill her in a way.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think you would ever be fulfilled from pursuing this, because she's never going to give you what you want.
And you don't want someone to have to be drunk to be interested in you, Like, obviously you say the signs increase when she's drunk, so they are there when she isn't, but you still don't want someone to have to be drunk to be interested in you. But I think explaining your feelings to her, there's no harm in doing that, as long as it's sort of, in my opinion, not a licensed professional, as long as you explaining your feelings is you then steering the relationship away from the sexual / romantic situation that you've got, unless you are happy with, if you truly like end game, you don't want anything more from her than like the friends with benefits situation you've got going on, then sure. But if you in your heart of hearts that it would be ideal if there was a bit more, I would steer away from the whole thing, especially because you've known her for so long. And if you do have a friendship there, if you have like a good friendship outside of this, which I don't like the way she treats you like in sexual and romantic terms, but if the friendship itself is good, you don't want to lose that. Like, I would explain the way that you feel and kind of try and steer things away.
Sorry, man. That's
I'm
rough.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're great. Like, you seem quite nice, but and with the whole, like, how you tell the difference, if she sees you as a really good friend, I'm just seeing a bunch of red flags from her in regards to like, what she wants. So
she's very inconsistent, and you want someone who's consistently into you.
You just have someone who's like super into you, like it's nice to be someone's exception, but you can be special to someone without being like the 5% of men they're into. Like, you're special for you.
Exactly.
You could read the next one, I think, because
okay. We're just giving me a lot of practice and reading today.
A lot of reading to be done. There's numbers in this one too. You can do it.
So this person's name, oh man, this is gonna, XX Simp for Harley 4269666 XX.
666. They've got me already. I'm hooked.
They say, how do I get a shot to date Harley? I'm not on the same continent, separated by an entire ocean, but it has to be possible, right? How do I start? Is it like a tier 3 sub like everyone says? I feel like that doesn't work though. Would love some advice because Harley is the funniest person I have ever seen in my life.
I can say I'm the funniest person they've ever seen in their life.
I was just gonna say
I'm
that.
funny looking, aren't I? It's fine. No, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Not the funniest person you've ever known. No, but the funniest person you've ever seen.
No, I'm not the funniest person they've ever heard either, because they've got like John Mulaney on Spotify. They're like, well, she's below that. But listen, I'm not against long distance relationships. I'm just saying, but. Tier 3 sub, you should be spending tier 1 sub on me and spend the other $20 on like buying me takeout or something. But once again, like Nova, I am treat stream. Yeah, come on, that's how you get in. That's the key to dating a streamer, is treat stream them constantly. That borders on like a weird feeder kink, but don't worry about it, it's fine. Nova's been googling that later, like, what is she can't spell it, she's like, what? Anyway, but yeah, no,
don't roast me like that, oh my god.
But yeah, no, I'm like Nova, I'm picky. I like my fictional characters, and I like a boy once in a blue moon. That's me.
What fictional characters are you into?
Ooh, Disney's Robin Hood. Don't text me unless you look like that orange fox, period. No, I'm kidding. Marty McFly, Wesley from The Princess Bride, Steve Harrington. I just freaking anything Carrie Elwes does is incredible. Like Robin Hood, he's great in it. Also, apparently every variation of Robin Hood I'm into. I feel
the same way about Laura Dern. Also Charlize Theron.
Oh no, I've seen Laura Dern. Yeah, I just love love Robin Hood. I love when he redistributes that wealth. Left is king.
We love that.
Go off. So yeah, that's I'm so sorry, Simp for Harley. I do enjoy though that you are putting Simp for Harley. I like that, and you think I'm funny. Those two things are good. I am above you, and I do work incredibly hard on having funny as a defense mechanism. So I'm glad that's working.
You're very funny. You're the funniest person I've ever heard. Thank you. Heard specifically.
Yeah, here's the thing. Your mic cut out when you said ever, so I could edit anything in there. It's like ever fucked. You're the funniest person I've ever had a romantic night on the Bahamas with. You're incredible, Harley.
Wow, we're really gonna like talk about that in the podcast? Mm.
You're amazing, okay. Simp for Harley. Thank you so much for. I would have felt maybe it's the same person as a Nova Simp, but if only Nova or only me had gotten a submission like this, I would have felt bad. But luckily, we're both hot as hell, so we both got one. Yes.
There we go.
I
need that confidence today.
We need that. All right, so we've got the next one. Let me get my notesy wotsies out, and I can edit out me scrambling for my notes as well. The sheer power that a podcast has. We're definitely editing this out.
Look, okay, you make fun of me for not being able to read, but you are not organized, and I at least am organized.
Yeah, no, I'm not organized, but at least I can read. Like, I can still do my taxes. I just do them late, whereas you're just like on the run from the FBI? It's not the FBI. Whoever does taxes.
I did my taxes.
TSA.
I did my taxes early. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, because it would take you a long time.
Shut up! Oh my god. Stop.
Anyway, so we have Mr. Alone Forever, which I hate that name so much. Oh no, we're gonna call you Mr. Forever. We're gonna call you Mr. Worldwide. No, Mr. Alone Forever is written in saying, how do I deal with the stigma around being a 21-year-old virgin who has never dated in his life because they're too shy to shoot their shot and ask people out, fearing rejection?
Okay, first of all, 21 is not old. Like, 21 is not, like, I mean, there's never a weird age to be a virgin, first of all. Your worth is not determined on your sexual activity. I know that's a big toxic masculinity thing, you know, like your body count and stuff, but, like, that's stupid, man. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin. And it's 21, you're a kid. You're still a child.
I don't think I lost my virginity until I was 22, so... Like,
well, I'm 23 right now, and I know that I'm very.
You don't need to say when you lost your. It's okay. I just wanted to have some solidarity with Mr. Worldwide over here.
What I'm saying is, I'm only 2 years older than you, and I can tell you that there's nothing wrong. Like you're still very, very young, and there's nothing wrong with being. I would date a virgin.
I think that he's definitely mentioning a stigma. So I'm sure there is a stigma there for sure, especially with sort of the patriarchal pressure, the virility that's encouraged.
Oh, 100%.
But I think that because it's an insecurity of yours, like with any insecurity, you're going to carry it a lot heavier than anybody else will. So you need to kind of, as best you can, remove that factor from when you're hitting on people and like pursuing people. You only need to bring it up with them when it's pertinent and when it comes to it. And if they're the right person, they're not going to judge you, and they're going to communicate well with you and that kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's not like weird at all. I completely understand where you're coming from, but it's not weird at all. And fearing rejection is just a human thing. Don't sort of. I just really would recommend trying to just like push that stigma as far off your shoulders as you can and not consider it. Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard for men because men are kind of put in the position where they are pressured to make the first moves on women, and women kind of expect to be hit on, you know. We expect that like men will come up to us and we won't have to make those moves. And so it is hard because you do, you know, you're because of those expectations, you are the one who has the onus put on them to make those moves and put yourself out there and shoot your shot. But I also would say that like because we get a lot, like several of these submissions are about how to approach women, how to like ask people out and stuff like that. And my biggest advice, I saw it somewhere, I don't remember where, I'll have to find the statistic, but it's like 80% of people who are in happy marriages like met their significant other through friends. And so instead of worrying so much about like you know, asking out like random people or really putting yourself outside of your comfort zone like that, because I can't do that. That's fucking scary, man.
I do that if I like want to have sex, not if I want to like date them, kind of thing.
You're
like,
so brave. You're so brave. I don't talk to people.
Wait, you don't like hit on guys at clubs or bars or anything?
No. I don't make eye contact with people I find attractive, man. I'm a baby back bottom bitch, okay? Let's get this out of the way right away. I'm a bottom and I'm proud, okay? I can't approach
pride
people
flag.
like that.
It's just like a donkey. Like a stripe.
It's just an ass.
Yeah.
I can't approach people. I get so scared when I see someone that I like literally can't make eye contact. And I know that's the one thing you have to do at bars to get someone to approach you is you make eye contact with them and you smile at them. And I've researched how to do this and I can't bring myself to do it. I just get so scared.
Even Nova struggles with it. Like, it's the most human thing to be scared of rejection. Even Nova, look at her, 10 out of 10, she struggles with it. I don't, just because of sheer obnoxiousness. That's it.
I talk mad game on Twitter. I talk mad game online. I'm fine with that. But like, get me in a public like situation, and I'm just like the shyest uwu bitch that you have ever met, and I just cower in the corner.
To be fair, and I swear I missed it all, but we will get back to you. But this reminds me of when we were at TwitchCon, and I had a drink sent to the table. Like that was when you were blonde and your hair was a bit shorter, and there was a drink sent to our table, which first of all I know it had happened to me, and I was like, oh, a drink was sent to the table, ooh. And then Dylan was like, yeah, it was sent from like that guy over there, and I was like, oh, it's for Nova, right? And he was like, no, it's for you. And I was like, what? And I was like very confused that was even I was like, it wasn't. I was like, it can't be me, it has to be Nova. But I also will like approach
not
people
realize
really no, I didn't
not realize how hot you are. Like, you do not realize how hot you are. You're extremely
feel free
attractive.
to leave a comment in out of 10 Harley review, especially if you're audio only, especially then.
Outed just now, Novalisi is actually simp for Harley 420-69666. Sorry, I was just trying to figure the tier 3 sub coming your way, baby.
Oh, I'm waiting. But yeah, anyway, Mr. Alone Forever. Sorry about that. We had a brief little detour there just to talk about my appearance. bit selfish. Do apologize. But yeah, I would say
it's our podcast, so.
You're gonna be like, we're gonna read something with like, hi, like it's really difficult for me to move on. I think I'm truly in love, but I don't know how to pursue it, and they're leaving in a week. And you're gonna be like, breaking news, Harley's ass looks good in these pants. Everyone look. And you show different pictures. I'm like, please. Ma'am.
I'm gonna get to your a situation in a second, but like first I would like to like go into something that is a much more pressing matter. Girl, why you so thick?
Damn.
Damn, what that ass did backing up on me, baby. Oh my god.
I told you this whole podcast was for you hitting on me. I warned you. I'm Cassandra. Oh my god. Anyway.
God.
Generally, bullet points.
This is why I'm single. This is why I'm single and secretly in love with my best friend. Seriously though.
Bullet points, I would say. Bullet points, I would say. Just try and remove. It's not the elephant in the room that you think it is. Just try and remove that. Rejection is normal, and like you'll never know unless you try, kind of thing. And the right person isn't going to judge you for it. And just nothing's wrong with never having dated. Like literally, I didn't date anybody until I think I was like I think I lost my virginity at 21. But I didn't date anybody until I was 22. So it's normal. Don't worry about it. Like I believe in you. You're going to do great. Please write in the future.
You're normal.
From the
I know
bed
toxic
of
masculinity.
We do.
I know toxic masculinity be doing that stuff.
I do be doing
like,
that. It's true.
You are normal and you are worthy of love, and it doesn't need your worth is not determined on how many people you've had sex with or if you have had any sexual experiences or anything like that.
Yeah, it's no indicator as like how desirable you are or anything like that. It's just life is just life sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't crop up. And better to be a virgin at 21 and never having had like really horrible experiences than to be like 21 having dated several people and they were all like rubbish and that kind of thing. So you know, okay, I'll read this one because you read out 2 before, and also this is a long one. I know you have trouble with that, sweetie. Okay,
shut up.
1 second, I'll get some water.
God, rude.
Also, you can hit on me for like 5 minutes straight when someone needs help, but I can't make one joke about the fact that you're completely illiterate from birth. Alrighty, sure. Lines in the sand.
Everyone's illiterate from birth. What the fuck?
I don't think so. I popped out with friggin' the works of Tolkien strapped to my back. I had a reading glasses prescription waiting for me on the tray when I came
hooked on
out.
phonics? Jesus.
They were like, "Oh, she's jaundiced." They put me in like a little incubator thing, and they just also handed me like The Great Gatsby, and I was like, "Interesting. I think Daisy is a poor. I think Fitzgerald is venting about his wife he doesn't like."
This is how you were able to write the Harry Potter novels
at the
in
age
the 90s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how we did it. Prodigy. All right, so we have Ms. Stuck in Cycle, who I love. She's a sweetheart. So Ms. Stuck in Cycle,
Okay,
I love you.
I'm excited.
All right. Oh yeah, I don't think you've read this one. Okay.
I haven't read this, so I don't know it.
So I this is a good one, I think. So she says, "Hello, I hope you're both doing well today. I want to get advice on my current situation, which is a long-distance relationship. We've been dating for a few years now, and I've been having issues for the last year or so, feeling like they're not putting in as much effort as before. To elaborate, they no longer reassure me, and they no longer really leave me any sweet messages, etc. I always have to ask for reassurance, and I'm usually just told, you should know, like X. So it's like, oh, like, you tell me I'm pretty? Oh, you should know you're pretty. On top of this, quarantine has hit really hard, and since we're long distance, it's extra difficult being alone all the time, and still not receiving the reassurance that I really need to feel loved. I always bring up concerns and things change for a little bit and then go back to the way they were before. I'm tired of begging for someone to communicate in a way that I feel loved and cared for, but we've been together for so long, it's hard to even think about being apart and getting back into the dating scene on top of hurting someone. On top of all this, sometimes I feel like I'm pulling teeth trying to get any sort of emotional response out of them. When I vent, I get told, oh, that sucks, love you. I still adore them, but it's hard to feel like they're the first person I want to go to when something goes wrong, when half the time I don't feel important at all. I guess in short, do either of you think I should continue working on the relationship, or should I cut my losses and work on myself and find someone who can communicate in my love language? Thank you for taking the time to read this. No problem, friend. I know exactly what Nova's about to say. Nova, go.
I'm sorry. I'm rereading part of this. I have it up, so I'm reading along with you. So I'm sorry. So she's communicated multiple times that she needs this person to, like, you know, give her words of reassurance, her love language. She needs someone to be affectionate.
These are
with
pretty
their
standard
words.
requests, by the way. Like, this isn't like a unique love language. Like,
yes.
This is, yeah.
Like, I understand that, like, after a couple years, relationships can go through lulls. Never experienced that myself because, again, I have only been in a relationship for 10 months. But I understand that relationships can go through lulls. But when that happens, you should be able to trust your partner that they will take your concerns seriously and they will communicate with you and they will do what they can to fix these issues that you're having, and because they want you to be happy.
Yeah,
right.
And that's the one thing they should always say the same, is they should always want you to be happy.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna say dump him.
I knew it. I knew she was gonna say
I'm
that.
gonna say dump him.
I've got some notes stuck in cycle, but Nova's take, dump him.
Dump him. Cut your losses, girl.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
So I definitely identify, I'm sure Nova does as well, to be honest, with the whole, like, you express your concerns, things change for a bit and they happen again. which can be really frustrating because you're like, I know that you can change, just not sticking with it. But of course, hanging around for the potential of somebody is always super duper dangerous. Basically, I think you're putting in a lot, not like too much or anything. I think what you're doing is fantastic. You're being really good. Communication is incredibly important, no matter how much, especially when someone's being so like unreciprocative. You can feel really needy and demanding and that kind of thing. Hopefully, they aren't making you feel that way and saying stuff that makes you think that you are. But you're being great. And what you deserve.
But the comment. The comment where they say, you should know.
Yeah.
That is making you feel needy. That's saying
true,
that
actually,
is like
yeah.
invalidating you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, you don't need me to tell you that. Like, you should know that. And like they'll frame it as like a compliment. So if I say, for example, oh, I feel really like horrible in my body today, and someone's like, well, you should know that you look fine. I'm like you think you're complimenting? I'm like, well, Harley, it's so obvious that you're fine, but like that's not at all identifying.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm struggling right now, and this person isn't being empathetic with you, especially the whole like, oh, that sucks, love you. Like this is so classic, like complacent, just like unempathetic situation. And I also agree with Nova. I think that, again, not a licensed professional, but if you were my friend, I would say that this is a relationship where you really sounds like you have done all you can. Ultimatums aren't good, so it's not good to be like, change or I'll break up with you. That's not good. But I would say that it would be good to sort of, it's going to hurt, but it can be good in the long run. And being apart from them when there's someone that you spent so much time with, again, it's like sunk cost. It can really hurt, because I'm sure that you love this person a lot, because you are trying to work on it. But if you try and separate yourself from them for a second and be like, okay, I'm not talking about what I want from them, what I need from them. What do I need from a relationship that is best for me and fulfilling for me? Okay, like ignore them for a second, like think about that. And if they're not ticking those boxes, and they're really easy boxes to tick, but it's being empathetic towards you, even if it is quarantine and everyone's struggling right now. If you have these issues for a year, like if they're not ticking those boxes, like you're only alive once. Like you need to move on. And you know, your love language is very standard stuff. Like this should be happening for you. Like they're not doing what they should be doing. IMO. Yeah. So again, dump him, but
I say the same
with
thing.
a bit more citation.
So I have a friend in real life who is kind of
what? Hang on a minute.
Situation.
Stop the podcast. How did you get that? How did you do that? Tell me the secrets right now.
I have a local friend who is going through a similar situation, and she's been with this person for like 5 years, she's been miserable for like a couple years, but then they'll go through like good times, and she's like, well, I don't want to call it quits, because the other thing is they're married, and so she's like, I don't want to like give up on a marriage.
Right.
But I try to say that like it's this could be a whole other can of worms, but I always say, like, what if you had only been dating for 3 months and they were treating you like this, like and this was what your relationship looked like after 3 months? Like, would you cut your losses? Because if the answer is yes, then like maybe you should do that right now, because you're clearly unhappy.
And then you make excuses when you're like, oh, well, we have been dating for so long, we've lost the energy and that kind of thing. But it's different. It's not like it's like, oh, our sex life is a bit less interesting. It's basic like decency that they're losing here. Yeah. And that's no good. And long distance,
and especially
can be really
when you're telling them point blank.
Yeah, you're telling them.
I need you to say these things. You're communicating with them, and they're ignoring your communication.
Yeah, which is so great. And like you should continue to do that in future relationships. Like keep that up. That's really good.
Oh, I thought you were saying that them ignoring her was like so great.
Keep it up, Mr. Stuck in Cycle. You're doing great, sweetie. It's character building.
All right.
No, I mean the person should keep communicating.
Yes. Keep communicating. Yeah. You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah, you're doing great, T. You're doing great, T.
Sadly, once again, a little teething issue. We forgot to film an outro for this episode as well. Thank you for bearing with us while we figure out how to actually run a proper podcast. I hope that everyone whose questions we got to today were... I hope they were helpful. If not, I hope they're at least a bit entertaining and helped you feel a little bit more validated and recognized in what you were saying. If you would like to write in for us to give you some advice, we post Google Forms on our social medias every couple of weeks, accepting submissions, and we get to them as quickly as we can. Our social medias are Novalisi and Breadwitchery basically everywhere, but Twitter is the one we're most active on. Again, I'm sorry for the little rough around the edges outro. As we figure out what we're doing with everything and get our feet underneath us, everything's going to be a lot more polished and prepared. We're just really excited to get all the content out as quickly as we can and answer everyone as quickly as we can. So we kind of just did everything as quickly as we could. Thank you so much for listening, and have a magical day.